Well, I am here in Centennial today, and the winds are not being cooperative. I would say the winds today, the type of winds today, are definitely the most dangerous type of winds that you can experience here in the mountains. I'll share with you in just a minute. Let me get started and share with you what the winds are doing and what my plan of action is today, because I've been sitting here for a couple hours now. I'm supposed to come back, but I don't know if I am. Okay, well, NG is coming up over 30% nicely. There's past 35, and ITT is going to peak out today at 6:44. About an hour and a half ago, I had 10 knots gusting to maybe 12 knots coming down the runway from behind me. And then at the end of the runway, I had 10 knots to 12 knots gusting coming up the runway. Off to the side, I had probably about 10, 12 knots coming off to the side. So on one end of the runway, we have 12 knots on the nose. For 3/4 of your roll for takeoff, you have almost a 12 knot tailwind. So I landed here and I got past my committed area. I had probably about 6 knots. And I'm like, okay, this is looking pretty good. The windsock's indicating about the same. Up past my committed area, within 2 seconds it jumped up to 13 knots of tailwind, but at that point, you're committed to land no matter what. So yeah, it gets really scary and a lot of work really fast. And I've got another flight coming out here as well, so it'll be about 2 hours before I have to come back here, basically. But I just don't know. If the winds are not different, then I won't be landing again. It's just not worth taking the risk for. And it'll probably be nice tomorrow. The windsock's showing this way, but the winds have been coming from my left-hand side the whole time. I landed here with 720, so let me go put that in here first. Okay, our fuel is both on, our caps have been checked earlier, our selectors good, our fuel we've been put in, our selectors are on, our controls are good, our terrain awareness we're going to turn off for takeoff. I get my radar on standby first. Takes about a minute to warm up. Switches and instruments. We're going to be rotating at 54 knots today. Typically I would turn to the left, head down the valley, or up the valley I should say, but this time we're turning to the right, regardless of what the winds are doing, down the valley, because it's lowering terrain to the right. Having winds coming in all different directions like that just creates like really dangerous wind shear opportunities, and for downdrafts that you just don't know and expect. And yeah, it can get dangerous really quick. Trimming aboard. We're going to be 35 knots by that taxiway, or the walking path across, or I should say, let's go to the third cone on the right actually. Let's say 35 knots at that point. Or we'll stop on the runway. That's our safe abort point. After takeoff, we're going to make an immediate right-hand turn. Considering UPL if we have engine loss. Considering feather. If we have to feather, it's going to be cut off, pull off, and shut off. Emergencies masters, crack my door, close to the ground after doing full flaps. Right, 26 degrees, 5300. So 1380. Ignition, condition, flaps 20, fuel and harnesses, and prop. 1380, rotate 54. Alright. All stations Centennial, November Tango Zulu departing Centennial for Madang will be on climb 10,000. 1380. Here we go. Okay, ITT is set, airspeed's alive. There's 35, continuing. There's 54. Get my speeds up quickly though. Unless I have any wind shear. And let's make an immediate right-hand turn out of here. Quickly looking at the winds, kind of getting a feel for what they're doing. They're now coming this way where they were 19 knots coming down this valley a couple hours ago. So the winds are starting to shift for sure. Which is good. Yeah, 10 knots coming off this way. So what the difference is when the winds shift like this, rather than having serious wind shear coming this way, you have serious downdrafts coming this way. So it is shifting, but it's one or the other, I guess. All right, let's go 10 degrees of flaps. Let's do a 180. I'm going up to 10,000 feet to jump over these mountains down to Madang on a half-hour flight. But let's call up for our departure here. Now that we're airborne, we can hopefully get a hold of them. Moresby 8837, November Tango Zulu departure. We do have a lot, not a lot, but we have some lower clouds right here already. Those might pose a problem here. It's 11:30 now. By the time I get back at 1:30, all of that might be coming in here. So it's not a guaranteed thing. Even if the winds are dying down, now that we've got winds pushing this way at 10 knots, all those clouds back here might roll in and then make my whole trip coming back out here just a complete wash. Moresby 120.7, November Tango Zulu departure. All right, well, I think I'll have to get up a little higher before I'm going to be able to get a hold of them effectively. It's the hard calls you have to make when you're doing something like this. It's one thing to have your own personal plane and go out and do bush flying, and you can, I'm done by 11 o'clock and just, that's it. But when you have passengers and they be picked up here and taken here, and if those guys can't go today, then how does it affect the rest of the week? Today is Friday, but it's been a long week. So I'd ideally not like to come back in on Saturday. Okay, that is my gap that I need to go through. It is wide open, but my next gap after that might not be. If I come over here and flip on my terrain, I can get through there. I can come down and around. And I think that's what I might have to do. So let's just come up to this gap here. We've got winds coming over here actually, so we're going to come on this side here. And that way I can kind of peek in, and if I have to, I can go back around. Actually, you know what? I actually really want to come over here to the other side because I want to be able to look down the valley going that way. I can already see in this way, and that's fine. I want to make sure that I can get through and head down the valley. I don't think it'll be an issue, but before I just commit myself in there, I really have to make sure that this is 100% going to work before I commit myself to go into another valley, especially when there's a nice cloud layer here at 500 feet above me. Yeah, it's all wide open there, so we'll go through there now. Eventually get up to 10,000 feet. Once we're past here, we'll go ahead and call up Moresby again and see if we can get our flight following. Moresby 1207, November Tango Zulu departure. Moresby 8837, November Tango Zulu departure.
November Tango Zulu, Moresby.
November Tango Zulu departed Sindini at time 271 POB. We'll be tracking direct Madang on climb 10,000, estimating Madang at time 13.
November Tango Zulu on climb 210,000. No reported traffic.
November Tango Zulu, standing by on 120.7.
November Tango Zulu, Moresby. Traffic for you?
Go ahead, November Tango Zulu.
November Tango Zulu, traffic, Sierra India Tango, Cody. Departed Moresby for Ayura. Estimate VDOT 0139. Will be a descent from 10,000. Higher estimate 0156.
Copy Sierra India Tango, November Tango Zulu.
November Tango Zulu.
Okay, well, Sierra India Tango, or Romeo, or whatever it was that he said, it's coming right over here to Ayura right there, so he's going to be below me. Really shouldn't be an issue, but just in case, I at least know there's an airplane coming that way. Yeah, right now, clouds are great. No rain, but as the day goes on, all these clouds are going to really start filling in all these gaps and all these valleys, making it a lot more difficult in another 2 hours to get back into Sindini. Right now, I'm kind of like 50-50. It might work, it might not. So when I get down into Madang, the guys out here that I just dropped off are going to send me a text or an email. Let me know what the winds are doing an hour later after I left. Here we go. This looks like the last little bit of cloud here. We're almost up to our 10,000 feet. I I'd have to go up to 12,000 or I'll have to drop back down underneath the clouds. Because at 10,000, I don't have an IFR route that I could just punch through all the clouds all the way down to Madang. So, thinking ahead, what's next in our flight? We've got 120.7 here. We've got 120.1 coming up next. So when we pass around in this area, that's where we'll switch over to that. It's kind of like actually 3 different radio frequencies all kind of combined right there. And then with that dotted line at the top, that's when we get into Madang. So we've got 1278, that's our ATIS. And then we've got 118.1. That's going to be my tower. So I'm going to put this on ATIS. That way when I start seeing it receiving, then I can know to pop it up and start listening to that. The trick is, when you're flying, is always stay a couple steps ahead of the airplane at all times, and how to do that is by asking yourself, hey, what's next? Never just sit here and be like, whew, that was a stressful takeoff, and I just got out of the busy airspace, I'm just gonna like, you know, chill out now and take a look out the window. Like, no, before you do that, ask yourself, what's coming up next? What can I do now while things are slow, in case things start getting busier here in a minute? The next thing I need to do, I need to put in my descent profile. Coming all the way down to 1,000 feet in Madang, so I'm going to hit enter, and we're going to, just myself on board, I'm going to go down to 800 feet per minute. Upper descent's right up there. If I hit flight plan, it's in 13 minutes. So now we've got all that set up. Now I need to start thinking about my flight back. If I fly back to Sydney, what type of fuel am I going to need? I need to make sure to let Tower know to call the fuel guy so he can get his truck or his tractor ready and come on down, fuel me. Then I need to go, okay, if my weight is under, how much extra fuel can I take in case I might have to fly up the valley a different way, maybe circle around, maybe do a go round, something like that. How much extra can I take of like contingency fuel just in case?
Break, November Tango Zulu, Mosby.
November Tango Zulu, go ahead.
November Tango Zulu at time 50. Call on primary 123.9, secondary 8861.
123.9er 8861 at 50, November Tango Zulu.
Break November Tango Zulu, Sierra India Tango, just left 8,900 on a track Vita to Ayura. Your position, please.
Past Ayura now, about 8 miles going to Madang, November Tango Zulu, have a good one.
Good, Ryan, thanks. Have a good one.
Alright, there's time 50. Let's switch over here real quick. Moresby 1239er, November Tango Zulu, check call.
November Tango Zulu, Moresby, good day, go ahead.
November Tango Zulu, estimating Madang at time 10, maintaining 10,000. We'll contact Madang Tower at 25.
November Tango Zulu, good day, slow to put in traffic.
November Tango Zulu. I already know what he's going to say to me, so if I could just get it out to him before he has to say it to me, it saves us both a call. Okay, so let's get our weight and balance figured out, what we can get extra fuel out of Madang to hopefully maybe get back into Sendeni. So I got to make sure that my tabs here, each one of my tabs at the top, make sure it's on my Madang Sendeni. I've got 253 kgs, so I'm going to split packs load, 5 packs at 253. Okay, you can see it's receiving now for ATIS. Let's get that.
Madang Airport, information Lima. Time 0145 Zulu, runway 07. Wind 030 degrees, 5 knots. Maximum 10 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. Haze. Cloud. Scattered 2,000 feet. QNH 1009er. Temperature, dew point not available. Ship at the wharf, derrick height about 100 feet.
Alright, that's good enough for me. Runway 07, so we'll be kind of coming into a base and final, so I need to readjust this. Set up 1,000 feet for pattern altitude. We're going to come in at 500 feet, and that will be a nice turning final.
Vertical track.
There we go. Let's head on down, all the way down to 500 feet. We've got one airplane taking off now out of Madang for Ayura, so almost in a direct line with us, so we'll have to be keeping our eyes out for that. We do have the Sentry, which works some of the time. I'll be putting that up on my ForeFlight just to get a better idea of where he is at all times. Let's go ahead and start up our buddy check for landing. Our selectors are both good, our brakes are good, our terrain awareness is turned on, our VREF, we're pretty much empty. We're going to come in, let's say at 70 knots today. Lights and inlet, we'll do a bypass, lights are already on. If we have to go around, it's power up 20 degrees, pitch for 12 degrees. We set top of the torque because we're at sea level. Madang Tower, November Tango Zulu.
November Tango Zulu, Madang Tower, good day, go ahead.
Good day, November Tango Zulu, 30 miles to the south. Passing 900,000 on descent. Your circuit time 09er with information Lima, copy Sierra, India, Romeo.
November Tango Zulu, roger. Track for left base, track for right base, runway 07, report 10 miles.
Track for right base 07, reporting in 10 miles. And would you do me a favor, would you mind calling a fuel truck and NAC to prepare the tractor and have NAC meet him down there with my arrival in 9 minutes?
November Tango Zulu.
Thank you.
November Tango Zulu, Sierra India Romeo, are you over the water or over the land?
I'll be tracking over the water. I'm currently 21 miles on basically 180 radio, passing 6,400 and will remain over the water.
Copy that. I'm just at the shoreline now and we'll be tracking a little bit to the right to remain over the land.
November Tango Zulu. There we go, there's Sierra India Romeo. Looks like my descent should get us really nicely. I'll be coming in pretty fast. I'm 162 knots now. So I actually want to get to that 500 feet a little bit early so I can level off and then start bleeding all my airspeed off as I'm into my base and then turning final. So I'll probably come in probably 20 degrees of flaps for most of my final because I don't have anybody on board. Winds are pretty calm today.
November Tango Zulu, Sierra India Romeo is just coming up on the go-go now, climbing through 4,100 and continuing to climb in your position.
I'm still over the water. I got you on TCAS and passing 4,100 at this time. I think we're about 4 miles apart from each other this time.
Okay, looking for you. You said you're over the water?
Affirm by about at least a mile and a half.
Okay, copy that. I'm over the land.
I've got you in sight. Well clear. Have a good day. November Tango Zulu. If you guys like these sunglasses, go check them out on my site. I've had them on sale for a little bit now for 75 bucks. I know money is tight for everybody. If you're interested though in supporting the channel or what I do here, this is one way you can do it. By picking up some of my merch that I sell, I also sell some books, coffee table book, as well as I just finished writing a book about what it takes, defining what a good pilot is. I think you guys will enjoy it. I'll be hoping to get that on Amazon for you guys, hopefully soon. Don't know. I still have to figure that process out. Or maybe it's already come out. I don't know, whenever this video comes out. 6 miles to run. We're just gonna keep my speed up all the way because I don't have anybody on board. I'm just gonna like slow down really fast last minute. I'll just get to my 500 foot a little bit earlier and then just bleed that speed off right at 500 feet.
November Tango Zulu, caution that strike as it exists, runway 07, clear to land.
Clear to land 07, November Tango Zulu. Alright, there's 700. We'll turn final 500 feet. Let's go 10 degrees of flaps now. About 8 knot quartering wind up here. There's 20 degrees of flaps, turning final.
$500.
Let's go full flaps actually. I'm a little bit higher than I was hoping to be, so that will allow me to have a steeper descent angle without increasing my airspeed. 8 knots on the nose. Don't see any birds. Runway looks clear. We're continuing. Alright, well my passengers have been sitting down here all morning long with little kids. I feel bad for them, but I want to ensure that they can get into where they want to today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to go check out my website if you guys are interested in helping support what I'm doing out here. Hopefully this time lapse at the end of this is me going back to Sandini. Otherwise it's going to be Sandini and then I'll live to Goroka. Hopefully not. I'll see you guys next time. I got someone marshalling me in. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Well, I just got off the phone with the guys out there and the winds are not favorable. The clouds are moving in, so back to Goroka it is. Looks like a Saturday flight for me.